The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, yeah, guys. Some. Hit the keys. And today I've got a very special guest for you guys today. I've got a Billboard producer and a Grammy member. My guys produce for all kinds of people like Wale, Dave East, Bun B, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Mexican OT. He's worked with people like Snoop Dogg, Kevin Durant. Give it up for my guy, CL McCoy, y'all.
Man. Blessings, bro. Man, I appreciate you having me on this wonderful platform, fam. So, man, shout out to you, my guy.
I appreciate that, man. We'll tell the people a little bit of something about yourself.
Man, so just real quick, man. Like you said, CL McCoy. The CL is my first name and my middle initial. Just kind of put that together. Just gave it a nice little ring. Obviously, McCoy is the last name, so CL McCoy was just kind of, got a nice little ring to it. I wanted to keep that business feel, but nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? So, I've been doing music my whole life, man. It's just something that I've watched my family do growing up, and it's just something that just entered my life. You know what I mean? I started playing the drums early, and just kind of got into the keys, and then it just went forward from there. Like you said, worked with a lot of great artists. I also worked with artists such as King ISO. I worked with Jadakiss. I worked with Busta Rhymes. Did some production work with Timbaland. You know what I mean? And just the list goes on. I'm just very blessed. Bun B, a lot of dope legends in the industry as well. And not all these have been like strictly production with them, like making beats, but some of them was engineering and just working on that on shows and different things like that as well. So yeah, so very blessed.
Sounds like it, bro. King ISO is one of my homies, real life homie. I used to be on a label with him. I used to do a whole bunch of shows with him back in the day in Omaha. Yeah. I've known him for a long time now. It's dope to see his progression.
Yeah, he different.
Yeah, he's definitely different. He don't rap like nobody else out there, man.
No, he different.
And he did that song with The Rock. I think that song's got like 300 million views or something now. It's kind of crazy.
I think that's what opened him up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a nice following before, but obviously that Rock record,
right,
to another level. But I know he's gonna be bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? And I think rappers scared to get him on something because he's gonna eat them up.
Maybe.
I don't think they're ready for ISO like that, man.
Right,
but shout out to ISO. We got some big stuff coming soon. So yeah.
I can't wait to hear it, man. I can't wait to hear it. So you said you started off music when you were young. What did you start off doing?
Just watching my dad, man. My dad and my uncle, they was in they're in a band to this day too, which is dope to watch them and get down as granddads. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Playing and watch them. But as young men, me and my brothers, my cousins, shout out to my cousin Vicious, my brother Trey, and everybody so forth. Just watching them play in the living room. You know what I mean? They did funk, so a little bit R&B, some Cameo, Keith Sweat, Troop, that type vibes and stuff. Gap Band, all that great music growing up, man, and all the good 70s, 80s music and up. Just watching them do their thing, man, it was just a very fun thing to watch, and it just kind of grew into me as I got older. You know what I mean? It's something that I kind of just follow those footsteps. And most of my family do music, man. I got an older brother, Trey McCoy, who's in a group called Midi Keyboards, who do a lot of big stuff in the music as well. And he's worked with so many great artists and doing many things as well. So it's just one of them things that, hey man, it's just blossomed in us. So that's how it started.
Yo, I gotta get Trey on here one day. I went to school with Trey, right? So
you.
Yeah. I went to Bellevue West with Trey.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah. Trey was the first brother I knew that was singing and dancing. And it was funny because, like, he kind of opened up the door for us when he graduated. He's a year older than me, to start doing shows and stuff at the school. But he was the first person I know who was dancing like Usher, who was singing, you know what I'm saying? And he was balling. He was on the basketball team and all that.
Yes, facts.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's beautiful to hear, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, Pops was in the military and stuff. So right. We was out there for maybe about 4 years or something like that before we came back home to Oklahoma City. And that's dope, man. That's dope to hear because I had no idea. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's sweet.
Small world, my dude. Small
That's
world.
very small, bro. I love it though, man. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, let me ask you this then. I know you live in Oklahoma City. So what's it like trying to get placements and work with artists, even though you're not in California? I know that's a question a lot of people have because there's a lot of people who follow the channel who are looking for placements or stuff like that. How is it getting placements and working with artists, even though you don't live necessarily in the same city as them?
Well, that's a great question, man. You know, my route was a little bit different, I guess you kind of say, man, because everybody's journey is different.
Right.
So it's always kind of, you know, this way might be different from this person. So it's kind of hard to really say exactly how to do it. But I can kind of let you know how I did my part in what you were saying. Being in Oklahoma City in these smaller Midwest areas, you know, you do have to get out. You do have to travel. You do have to network. You know, I started off going to a lot of conferences. I remember I had this one guy I knew named Brandon Bird. Shout out to Brandon Bird, man. He was an intern for Arista Records back in the day when it was doing a thing with when they had like Pink and Clips and all those guys. He was interning for them, man. And I had a buddy that met him in Cancun one time, and they were just talking about music and stuff. And he told them about, like, I got a homeboy back home in the city who do music, and they just kind of, you know, switched from there. And I got connected with him, so he heard our music. He really enjoyed it. He brought us out, man, to Kentucky, because that's where he was going to school at the time as well, in Lexington, Kentucky. So we just opened up shows for 50 Cent, Clips, Pharrell was there. I mean, it was just an amazing experience of 16, 17-year-old kids. And this is 50 Cent Get Rich Die Trying Day. So this is 50 at the beginning, bulletproof vests, bulletproof cars, you know, the 50 that
right.
the president 50 at this time, you know what I mean? And you know, so those experiences I got, and just him giving us knowledge, like, you know, I'm gonna get you guys to different places and stuff like that. So we had different conferences, like in Arizona, we went to, and just a whole bunch of different spots, man, where we can network, where there was a whole bunch of people on the panel and producers and artists and stuff, where you can kind of, you know, saying talk your talk with, and showcase your talent and your music and stuff. But like I said, for me, it also helped out because in 2008, I met a guy named Kevin Durant.
Right.
You know, so Oklahoma City Thunder, Seattle Supersonics became Oklahoma City Thunder as they moved down here. And I was working at Guitar Center at the time. So when I was working, Kevin Durant actually walked in the building with a all Texas Longhorn uniform at that too. Very disrespectful.
Right.
You know, it's Sooners over here for me, you know.
I mean, it's Husker over here. It's us, Husker Nation.
All good. It's all good. Either way, the Texas was just disrespectful both ways.
Right. You ain't lying.
But he just came in with an NPC, bro. And this is a young KD too. You know, this is a 20-year-old Kevin Durant. This is not the multi-million big superstar man he is today. This is the second year in the league, Kevin Durant, you know what I mean? And but he was still obviously an NBA player, and to us, that was our Michael Jordan, because, you know, Oklahoma City getting a basketball team at the time was amazing for us. So he just had an NPC and wanted to sell it, man, and he wanted to buy equipment. I sold him some equipment. We just became good friends after that. I gave him a CD. He loved it. He came back for me, and the rest was history after that. So he pretty much put me in great positions, bro, to work with different artists. You know, he'll call me, be like, I got Wale coming to town, bro. Get ready. And that's the phone call. I promise. I got Bun B coming to town, man. He's coming to a playoff game. Be ready. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the middle of the, like, okay. All right. Yeah, bet. And, you know what I'm saying? So it was thrown at me, and I had to be ready for the situations, because there's a lot of artists as well that I did get my music sent to, and they didn't like it. They didn't pick it up. You know what I'm saying? So it was hit and miss with a lot of people. You know, Waka Flocka, he clowned the can we cuss on here?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, dog. You're good to go.
Waka Flocka clowned the shit out of my bro. Dogged it out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it meant to, but this is just, you know, just he was, you know, this is just how he expressed himself. He wasn't feeling the beats. And I think that was a great humbling experience for me as well, because Waka was the first one in the industry that was like, nah, I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? And it made me realize I had to get better. You know what I mean? So you're just gonna have, you know, it's just a hit and miss situation, man, with everything too. You know, and we're in a game today where social media obviously will help you a lot with being able to reach people. You know, I don't ever really reach the artists. I go for the management. You know what I mean? I hit up the DJs. I hit up everybody underneath the artists that don't have 1 million followers. because they're 95% of the time they will answer your inbox. They just do. It just seems like something, you know, they're a lot easier to reach and be able to contact than you trying to reach a Drake, a J. Cole. Those guys get millions of messages every day. They're not going to just look in the, you know what I mean, find you. But if you're looking at, you know, somebody that's with, say, Drake in the studio and his name is Paul. Paul got 4,000 followers and Paul's his engineer. Reach out to Paul, because it's going to be easier for you to be able to, you know, get that conversation in and what you're trying to do. So that's something I had to learn as well. You know what I mean? Like, I had to learn to reach for the guys who were underneath the artist or producer, whoever, because they still got a much impact as well and can do things for you just as big. Because remember, these guys, Drake and J. Cole and all these big guys, somebody has to take care of them. You know what I mean? They didn't come into the game and just, you know, do everything by themselves. They had a team. They had somebody that helped them get to this level, they helped them get to that level, they helped them get to that level. So it's just learning experiences and everything like that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how, you know, I got my records out to different people and things like that, just reaching to the right people and just really traveling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I want to pinpoint a few things just for the audience that he said that are very important. Like, I know you guys watch a lot of YouTube videos, and they tell you guys to basically spam the artist with your beats and all that other stuff. But listen to what he's saying. Again, this is somebody who has placements. Try to contact somebody underneath them. Obviously, make sure you send them some fire. Don't be sending them, you know, your first beat or whatever, because, you know, first impression is everything. So if the first time you send somebody a beat and it's not the most fire beat, they're probably not going to open up your emails anymore. I'm just assuming there. And then get outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, you heard what he said. He went to conferences and he did all kinds of other stuff. So it's not all about sitting in, you know, your room, producing and thinking everything is going to happen. And granted, like you said, it's going to take a little bit of luck too. You know, he ran into Kevin Durant and then bam, you know, he's on the scene. So you kind of are guiding the interview here, because the next question wasn't going to be this, but I wanted to bring this up at some point. So with social media, how do you feel that producers should move with social media now? Do you feel like, you know, producers should be making content, or do you feel like producers should just solely focus on the music, or do a combination of both? Or how do you feel like, you know, the landscape's going to change moving forward?
I mean, definitely got to have the content. You know, and this is speaking for myself as well, because I got to get better at my own content. But, you know, if I follow a lot of producers, and I follow a lot of producers that doesn't have the big, you know, names in the industry. I like to follow the producers that have the 10,000 followers, the 15,000 followers, the 12,000 followers, but they produce for the NBA young boys. They produce for Little Dirk. They produce for Wiz Khalifa. You know, there's so many producers in the industry that does not have millions of followers. They might only have 8,000 followers, but got 10 plaques. You know what I'm saying? Gold plaques, platinum plaques, because the industry is so different and open now that artists are looking for production a lot nowadays too. If you go on their Instagrams and different things like that, they'll always say, need some new fire, send beats to email so-and-so, or you know, tag somebody who got the fire beats looking, you know what I mean? So it's a lot more open now and everything like that. So you want to have that good content, so that way if you're able to reach these artists or whoever may be behind them, they want to go to your page. They want to see what you're about. They don't want to just see, you know, a place of food, or, you know, you playing basketball. They trying to go to your page and see what you're really about. You know what I mean? And like I said, like, so if you go to my page, you're going to see me working with, you know, the artists that I'm talking about. You're going to see me in the studio with these guys and actually working and actually doing shows and stuff at the Grammys and different things. So it's not like it's just, you're saying that on your status to look good. I actually got the, you know, the visuals and the content to back up my credentials and what I do. So it's very important, because it's kind of like your resume at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You want to get a good job, you got to have that resume for them to hire you. And it's kind of the same way. Right. So it's kind of, so yeah, definitely do the content. And like I said, I still got to get better at that myself.
I mean, I'm guilty there too. I'm only good at content on YouTube. Like on my other sites, you know, Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, I'm not really the most active there.
Bro, I'm terrible at all that joints, but I ain't gonna lie.
I did see you posted something, was it yesterday or the day before, about what should you wear to the Grammys? I'm like, man, this nigga going to the Grammys. I want to go to the Grammys. Tell us what it's like being a Grammy member.
Man, you know what? It's very dope, bro. I've met so many amazing people inside the industry that you would never ever that you if you see them at the mall, you be like, who is this? You know, but their credits and what they do in the game is unreal. My guy, his name is Trey Nagella. Trey Nagella, man, he looks like, man, he looked like somebody that works at just a regular good 9 to 5, you know, selling cars. I'm just being real. Just walk past him in the mall or wherever you are, have no idea who he is. The man has 5 Grammys.
Jeez.
3,000 followers. He don't care about the social media, none of that stuff like that. I went to visit him in his studio. He got this beautiful studio. And man, I'm telling you, he worked with Kirk Franklin. He worked with Beyonce. He worked with Erykah Badu. He's worked with Kendrick Lamar. He's worked with Lil Wayne was at the studio like 3 days after I went there. He went there for him to do his engineering and stuff. So, you know, it's just the people that you meet in this circle is just unbelievable. And Paul Wall, I'm actually underneath Paul Wall because I'm in the Texas chapter of the membership of the Texas chapter, and Paul Wall's the treasurer of that. But that's how if you saw me with the pics with Paul Wall, that's because
I've seen him.
Yeah, so I'm a part of his community. I'm part of his membership.
I opened up for Paul Wall when he came to Omaha. Not to cut you off,
no, you good, you good. Hey man,
so dope. Time when he's dope. He's a cool ass dude, man. He's a
very,
real dude. He's a
very nice and humble man. Like he's really the people's champ.
Right.
You know, he's the one that got me connected with Mexican OT. So shout out to Paul Wall.
Yeah, tell me about that placement a little bit. I mean, you said I seen a little preview of that, and you said it's going to be a banger. Obviously, Mexican OT is killing it right now.
Amazing things, man. So, yeah, man. It's just one of those situations. Like I said, just being a member of the Grammys, and running to the people that I'm meeting. You know, you get these type of connections. You get these type of people that you don't know who they are. Shake everybody's hand because you don't know who you're going to meet. And like I said, Paul just kind of alley-ooped it, you know what I mean? OT looking for work. You got them tracks, you know, it's got him that way. He loved it. So we are today. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things, man. You know, it's like I said, you just gotta really shake hands. I used to be scared to meet people. I used to be scared to shake their hands and say hello. Worst thing they're gonna do is say nah, or
right,
you know, or brush you off and not even talk to you. Okay, keep it moving. But now, beeps, hey, how you doing, man? I'm CL McCoy. Nice to meet you. You know what I mean? It's so you can't be scared in this business because you know you just don't know who you're gonna run across. The one in the room that don't look like they got no money or got nothing is probably the man with all the money and everything. So it's just something I had to learn for sure.
You know, I was watching a Dave Chappelle clip just earlier today when he was talking about Kanye, and he was like, when Kanye was a billionaire and they were asking him about gold chains. He was like, billionaires don't wear gold chains. Millionaires wear gold chains. Billionaires don't wear their money on their body. But then the joke, you know, went back to once the whole Adidas thing went down and he lost $1.5 billion. He's like, better put that chain back on because you back here with us or whatever. So
it's so true, man. You know, just like that picture with Jay-Z. You remember that? Did you see that picture where everybody in the picture got these big old chains on and all this woo-woo? Jay-Z just had on a regular sweater with no jewelry and nothing. Chilling it.
Doesn't have to impress nobody.
Who's the richest in the room?
Right.
Who's the biggest man in the room?
Everybody knows because everybody's flocking around him, you know? So they know.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, just super random, but not random. So when you make your music, do you prefer hardware gear, software, like plugins, or a combination of both?
Definitely a combination of both, man, because I'm old school, man. You know, I started with the hardware where you had to buy the Triton keyboards and the Phantoms and, you know, had to get the Digi 003 boards and all that different stuff with the Pro Tools and when it was still Digi Design before Avid. You know, gosh, I'm showing my age. I'm sounding really up there right now. But, you know, even Fruity Loops when it was just the Bible at the time, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I started during that times, man, you know what I mean? So when you really had to use the hardware, you know, you had your software, but obviously it's not like it is today. Everything is, you know, subscription based and so easier now for you to to purchase things as well. You know, when we was growing up and things, if we had to get wave bundles and stuff, you had to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000
Right.
just to get the product in your
Right.
hands. You know what I'm saying? That might have been the lowest bundle.
And we couldn't
You know
afford like Pro Tools at the time, so we were using Acid Pro and stuff like that. And Acid Pro was still like 400, $500, you know?
Sonar and now that's the level you had to be at the time.
Right.
So now $9.99 everything.
Right.
Every single, you know, everything you need.
Yo.
So it's dope, man. So I mean, you know, so now I got into that software as well because, like I said, you know, I love arcade and, you know, when I create and complete ultimate and all that different stuff. So I'm native instruments and all that stuff. So I'm both.
Let me ask you then, what's your go-to gear? Like what's your go-to boards?
I mean, right now, honestly, you know, I don't really mess with the boards like that no more. I do have my MIDI controllers, obviously, you know what I mean, and then it's just more the sound banks and everything for me. You know what I mean? I'm part of Beat Club as well, so I do have my Beat Club MIDI controller, which is really fire. And so, you know what I mean, all that stuff like that. But I don't really use the true. I'm more in the software area now, but like I do have a little bit of hardware in the studio and stuff that I do for like just like more vocally and everything like that. You know what I mean? It's for
I get it.
You know, more compressions and things like that. So yeah.
Now I get it because I have boards. I have a few boards, but I don't really use boards for like producing beats, which sounds weird. I'm in like sound design and stuff like that. So I'm taking the boards and I'm doing more of that to like kind of gear up to make presets and, you know, packs and plugins and stuff like that. I'm trying to get into that lane. So I completely understand that because I got the boards, but I think there's like a huge debate between plugins, analog and digital in the producer space. And I know producers on one end that would swear that they'll never use anything but analog and digital, can't get it done. But then I know other producers who are like, we can use this digital stuff, man, and get 100 million, 200 million, 300 million views, you know, streams or whatever, and get the job done. So some of the plugins that you named, I think are fire, like that, like the native instruments, the complete people. I just got that recently, and them guitars and everything in there, fire.
Arcade is like my favorite one right now, man. Arcade is just such a smooth, sick preset. What I love about arcade is the sounds are so real and it's got every genre you need. It's like your own splice.
Right.
So, when I say that is, you know, splice obviously already had their pre-loops and everything like that. Arcade is a sound bank where you can create your own, still create your own sound. You know what I mean? And elevate the sound for the modulations and everything that you use in it. And if you need someone hit you, I need an 80s sound. They got an 80s bank. You know what I mean? I need a 70s sound. They got a 70s bank. I need some young Jeezy or some old school Jeezy type. You know, they got banks for that where it's just strictly hard horns and strings instruments. So arcade, man, is like it's my top right now. That's my go-to like all the time when I'm in the beats for sure.
Yeah, I used a lot of the vocal chops from arcade. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I love the vocal chops too.
Yeah, I be killing the vocal chops.
Hook and all that. Gosh, unreal.
Right. Well, you got a bunch of placements. You worked with a bunch of artists. I'm gonna put you on the spot here for just a second. So tell me, who's your favorite artist that you've worked with?
So easy one right there. It's something crazy, you know what I'm saying? Bone Thugs and Harmony, man.
Okay.
Grew up on Bone. I didn't just grow up on Bone Thugs. I idolized Bone Thugs. You know, growing up as a 9-year-old kid in a room and playing Mo Murder and Mr. Ouija, are you with me? My mom thought I was gonna be a serial killer. Okay. Walking past the room and trying to understand what the hell I'm listening to. Okay. You know, obviously I got older brothers and stuff, so I was able to get the access to these songs and these records. And I'm in a room, Mr. Ouija, are you? Not even know what they talking about. I had no idea I'm summoning the devil in the crib right now. Right. And screaming, you know, Mo Murder and singing all this stuff like that. My mom was like, talk to her friends on the phone. Girl, my son's a killer. He gonna kill people when he get older. I just walked past his room. He talking about Mo Murder, Mr. Ouija, all my son. You know what I'm saying? So Bone Thugs was my group. And to be able to not just work with them later on in the future in life, but been able to go on multiple tours with them and just becoming friends with them individually as well has been such a big blessing, man, and like a super dream come true. super dream come true, man. And yeah, man, it's just that's always gonna be my top tier. That's like meeting Michael Jordan, in
Yo,
my opinion.
it's kind of funny how some of our experiences are just similar because I mean, obviously I haven't worked with Bone Thugs, but I opened up for Busy Bone, I've opened up for Lazy Bone, and I've opened up for Bone Thugs, the group, all in three different
Oh,
occasions.
yeah. Yes,
And
sir.
one, and like I feel the same way. I remember growing up listening to Thuggish Ruggish Bone and all that shit. But one of the dopest experiences that I will ever remember in any kind of music thing, like any kind of music, anything that I ever had was I opened up for Busy Bone one time. And after the show, Busy Bone comes up to us and he gives us props and tells us how dope we are. And then he
Yeah.
gets on stage with us and he's got the DRP, his drummer,
Hmm.
he's drumming, and we got a DJ in the background spinning records and Busy Bones on stage freestyling with us and just going in and just giving us, I mean, just going crazy. It was like probably one of the dopest musical experiences I ever had because it's like somebody you look up to.
Yeah.
He's super humble. He doesn't have any problem giving you props and telling you he thinks you're dope as you're giving him shout outs, you know?
Man, yeah, and when you say that, because like you said, we as we grow up, we thinking, I can say speak for myself. I'm thinking I'm about to meet these hard, thuggish,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like the most gangsters, hardest dudes in the world. Because that's what we grew up upon. That's what we hear. All the, man, these were the nicest dudes and
Right.
welcoming dudes. Gave you a hug. Lazy Bones, the nicest dude you ever meet in your life. Crazy Bones is so humble and quiet. Wish is funny. Flesh is sweet. You know what I mean? It's just like, and this, hey man, I'm over here thinking something else. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but that's just how it is in this industry too. You have to, uh, you got to be. Sometimes it's a character. Sometimes at the end of the day, I met a lot of people who are characters in this industry. They're nothing like who they are in real life. And I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want to blow nobody cover or nothing like that. But I just met so many people in the industry who I thought was gonna be this way, and just after they got off stage or did an interview or something like that, me and
Right.
you,
Right. I mean, so you guys hear that, what he's saying, these artists are just as humble as you are. They're, down to earth and everything. And so when you meet them and you talk to them, they just want to have a good time. They just want to make music. They just want to be regular people just like y'all. So,
oh
uh,
yeah,
if you ever see them or you approach them in real life, they probably don't want you to treat them like God. They just want you to be like, what's up? Shake their hand and, you know what I'm saying? Keep it moving or whatever the case is.
exactly.
So next I got a question for you. This is the most important question of the whole entire podcast. Uh,
Okay,
so you're a girl dad, you're a single father. I
yes.
want to know how you manage to budget your time with your daughter and with your music.
Oh man, well, my dog's in my face. Get down, brother. Get down. he trying to get some attention. Um, it was tough in the beginning because I was so used to being on that grind, traveling and everything like that. When her mom was more in the picture and everything, and I was able to make those moves and stuff because obviously you're with your mother and stuff like that. I can hit the road and move around. Now it's kind of more like before I go places, I definitely have to set up, um, you know call my mom, what I mean, have her keep her for me in different situations like that. And, I have a great family foundation behind me that helps me, be able to keep my daughter for a situation when I do have to be on the road and things like that. So it's definitely a lot tougher, man, because, like I said, I can't just get up and go like I used to, you
Right.
know, and not like I was just getting up and leave any other time, but you know what I mean? It's a deeper process of me trying to be able to get my daughter taken care of while I'm gone. So, but yeah, so that's the only really struggle of it. Other than that, it's piece of cake, piece of cake.
And I should have asked you this when I was asking about the plugins and everything. What DAW do you use? What's your DAW choice?
Pro Tools all day.
Bro, you make beats in Pro Tools too?
I make beats Pro Tools. I mean, I do use Fruity Loops for my drums. You know what I mean? For like the 808 stuff. You know how you can chop them.
All
But
right.
all day.
I'll take that answer. I mean, obviously Pro Tools is the industry standard. I'm an FL gang member over here.
Oh,
So
good. I ain't gonna lie, man. I had to get into the FL gang for all the producers I was working with, and they were so shocked, looking at me like, bro, you make this and you make this in Pro Tools? Dang, this is fire. They never see nobody working like I have before and how way I create. But Pro Tools doesn't have the navigation of the drums the way you can do, like they have battery and all that different stuff, but it's not the same tool of how you create in Fruity Loops and how you can you know, use certain things in Fruity Loops because it's made strictly for beats. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of course, they brought the recording, later on in the of it and stuff, but I just wasn't deep into Fruity Loops like that at the time because, like I was saying before, I didn't get deep into the software of creating beats till a little bit later on in life. I was hardware, so I always just when I made my beats on the Triton and stuff, I just have my little USB MIDI man back, you know what I'm saying, and set it up with my Pro Tools, and when I have my beats go, you know what I mean, it just the clock starting the Pro Tools and just distributing my beat like that, and that's how I did it. So that's how I was kind of so used to doing it. So yeah.
So I need to reiterate what he just said, y'all. It's FL Gang. So anytime anybody talks smack to y'all about using FL Studio, Fruity Loops, whatever the case is, you heard it here first. We've got a Billboard producer that still uses Fruity Loops, but he does use Pro Tools too. So I'm not going to knock Pro Tools. So it's not necessarily the DAW that you use, it's how you use the tools that you have.
That's it. I have a buddy. He go by the name of Sir Money. Shout out Sir Money. Uses Reason unreal. I've never seen nobody use Reason the way my man used Reason. It's unreal beats. Some of the craziest beats I've ever heard in my life. So, like you said, it's how you use the program. You know what I mean? It's just, everybody has their own special gift, and it's just how you use it. So, yeah, man, definitely.
That's one thing I've noticed. It doesn't matter what I make a beat on because I use Logic. That's what I record into is Logic. I just like the workflow of Logic. I used to use Cubase to record back in the day, and Logic's kind of like Cubase, but I just like Logic. So I got it with my MacBook. I like I just like how it works. But I've noticed, like, if I make a beat in Ableton, if I make a beat in Logic, FL Studio, if I get my boards out and I make a beat, it don't matter what I'm using to make the beat's still gonna sound like a beat I made. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna know I made that beat because it's just, like you said, it's what's in you. It's like what's in you, what you bring out, it's gonna be what you know what I'm saying, you put down into your music. So guess I got one last question for you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this again. I appreciate you coming on the platform and talking to the people and just, giving them a perspective. That's super dope. But the last question I have for you, it's a two-part question, is what do you got going on next and where can the people find you?
All right, man. Well, like I said, man, I want to appreciate you and thank you again for having me on this great platform, brother. This is really dope, and I see what you're doing, man, in the grind, and saying so. Shout out to you. But as you see on the name, Instagram LeRon Vision. Find me on LeRon Instagram with LeRon Vision. That's LeRonVizion. LeRon Vision. That's Instagram. That's also my Twitter. If you write me on Twitter, you probably won't get any response back. I'll never get on Twitter. I mean, you ain't gonna see no messages, so I ain't ignoring you. I just ain't on. Facebook, CL McCoy. You can find. I mean, I do have my personal page, but if you want to find the music side, the producer page is CL McCoy, just like it's spelled, CL McCoy. And what do I have coming out? That was the last question, right? The next question. What do I have coming out? So I got that record with Mexican OT. That Mexican OT that's coming out very soon. It's going to be a very big record for us. Just shot the video for it. Very excited for it. So we're going to get a, BET Jams. It's going to hit YouTube real crazy. Going to hit some big numbers. We're going to spread it all across the U.S. So you probably will hear it on your radio station somewhere playing. King ISO. Got a big record with King ISO coming soon. Shout out to him. And then I got a big record with Doughboy. Doughboy signed with Future and Free Bands. And if you don't know, Doughboy just had that brand new Apple commercial where with the sockets is singing, you know what I mean? The iPhone 15 commercial, that's Doughboy's song right there. So I got a record coming with him soon. He's from Cleveland. And let's see, man. That's mainly my big three that within the next 6-7 months that's dropping. I do got other things popping off. But those are like the main things to look out for coming in the near future. So yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's dope. That's dope, man. I'll definitely keep the people updated too when them songs drop. You know what I'm saying? I'll spread the love too as well. So again, my guy, I appreciate your time.
And brother, thank you. Thank you.
You guys, make sure if you guys do like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell. So every time we bring you guys a new video, you could be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time, guys. And I'll catch you in the next one.
And I'm gonna get my brother on here, man.
Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm gonna leave this in too. I was gonna hit him up too and see if he wanted to get on here. I figured Trey probably want to get on here and just chop it up, but
Yeah, of course.
for sure. Dad definitely love to have a little conversation with him because I know he's a Grammy member and he's writing songs and doing all kinds of dope stuff too.
Big brother's the one that got me where I'm at today. A lot of positions I'm in. So you got, big bro. Shout out to him, man, and my brother Deli, meant to be, the whole family, man. Like I said, shout out to you once again, fam. I appreciate
that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
So y'all.
Some hit the key.